Hi, welcome back to The Art of Frosting. I'm Liz Larson. So for those of you who've been looking for something simple to do, or for those of you experienced decorators who really need something quick in a pinch, this is it. One of our viewers suggested, why don't we do a cupcake Barbie cake? Challenge accepted. So I came up with this sweet petal cake for a skirt made out of cupcakes. I can't wait to show you how to do this. Let's get started. Oops, before we get started, I want to tell you, we're going to use a number 127D. That's the letter D for these big petals. So if you don't have that, you can use a quick icer. So if you're beginning decorating or you're pro, you definitely should have a quick icer. So either one of those works. We're going to use a star tip, a number 23, and a rose tip, a number 124. We're going to use just one color, hot pink in this case, Wilton gel color, and our Barbie. We've got 11 cupcakes plus one mega cupcake. I'm starting with my giant cupcake or giant muffin. These are the kind of muffins that you would find at Costco, even Albertsons. Most of the grocery stores make them now. They're called a mega muffin. And we want that for her seat, where she's going to be sitting underneath her dress, because it's a little bit taller and a little bit more stable. So as you can see, I'm just using my spatula here, and I'm icing it all the way around. Now, if you don't want to take the peel off your mega muffin, don't. I think that would work just the same. You just want to make this a little bit flat. Doesn't even have to be too fancy. And I'm going to put a little coconut on top. This is a cake decorating, this is a wedding cake trick. We're going to put the coconut on top to kind of keep our doll from sticking too much. There we go. Next, I am going to bring in some pink candy melt. Now, you could just ice these if you want to. I just thought it might be good to have them sealed. And I'm just going to set them, or start setting them around. I have 11 cupcakes, which is what fits here, but you could actually use a much larger platter. I chose this one because this is actually from the dollar store. I want this cake to be doable for the super beginner, and a lot of super beginners wouldn't necessarily have a large platter. But I did test this out on a much larger platter, a glass one. So those of you decorators who have those, that's really pretty too. And just continue on around the second layer. I'm going to put my 3 cakes sitting on their side. This is going to be under her legs. And there we go. That quickly, we are ready to start decorating. We're starting with our number 124 rose tip, and we're just going to use a ruffle technique. I'm going to start all the way to the side, come down and up. For you really beginners, this is just a zigzag. I'm going to come all the way around. Start to fill in just a little bit here between the cupcakes. It's going to be a little bit messy to serve, but that's okay. Okay. And go ahead and give it a finished top one all the way across. Perfect. I'm ready to place my Barbie. Now I do have her bottom wrapped. It is not because the Barbie's dirty and needs to be keep clean. The Barbie's clean. What I want to do is preserve her skirt, because I'm going to go ahead and use her bodice. Remember that we want this to be super quick and super easy, so we're not going to bother with the bodice. It's pretty, and we're going to leave it. We want to position her with her knees bent here, and just let her feet come forward. Have them crossed. Push her down so she doesn't fall over. There we go. Our Barbie is positioned. After our Barbie's positioned, we want to come back in and start to put some of these ruffles that stand up. See how it's a zigzag like this? We want this one to come up and over her knees because remember we want it to look like she's showing us her underskirt while she's sitting here. I want one more ruffle of white over her knees. There we go. Now we have all the underpinnings of her skirt. Next we're going to use our number 23 star tip, and we're going to start to put some rosettes in here. And mainly these are just to fill in. Now guys, please don't write me and tell me this is too much frosting. It's frosting art and frosting is required. So I just want to lightly fill in around here so that her skirt will flow over and down onto the cupcakes. We're trying to get the cupcakes paper, keep them from being too messy, but they are going to be a little messy. And after all, it's for kids. It's fun. They'll get over it. I do want to put just a little rosette here and here as well. We're going to start decorating the farthest part of her skirt. So it would be the last layer, the under layer. And I'm going to use my 127D striped with super hot pink. It's just Wilton paste color gel. And I'm just going to make a circular movement like this. It's basically just our garland movement. Squeeze, let it build and release. Just fan it out. We want to connect them as best we can. And remember, this is a skirt, so you can let it drop through and come all the way around. You see I kind of have to reach around my doll here, bring it up into here. And on this side, start here and bring it around. We also want to bring this around the front, and we're going to lightly cover over those petals or ruffles. See, I've had to change my angle just a little. I'm more towards myself, and we're going to just delicately drop our garland like so. See, that's already starting to be pretty. I want my next tier to stand up just a little, so you can see I'm going to angle with my thin point up, and I'm going to use that same ruffle that we used earlier. See how it's giving just a little bit more lift? Now this is going to be the hardest part, is these angles here, but you can do it. Just have patience and come around to the front, switch up our angle again, more towards ourselves, and just be a little bit more delicate about the ruffle here. You can also see that when I turn my bag over, when I change angles, I get a little different color here. So more pink here and less pink here. Perfect. So on my next layer, I want to come around with the more flat garland again. Start to move in, but this time I want to overlap a little. Come around to the front again. And next layer, another layer of ruffles, angle up just a little bit more. So I've turned my angle just a little here, and I'm going to reconnect here with the front of my skirt and start to come around. And as I add more and more white to my bag, I end up with a more and more variegated color. Plus, you can remember I turned my angle here. So the top of my skirt is going to be a little more white and a little less pink. Now, if you want it to be all pink, just keep adding pink back to your bag rather than white. And just keep coming around with petals. I'm going to do a ruffle here now. And one more ruffle. I kind of want this to look like a bustle. There we go. I'm going to put one more petal here. And one more here. Give it a little ruffle at the end so that it blends in with your ruffles there. I've swapped out to my number 124 tip, my smaller tip, and I'm going to do my final petals here. Just very lightly back and forth petal around her waist. As we come into the back, we're going to make that a little bit bigger to add to her train. I want to finish up here by adding just a couple more rosettes, more delicate, just to fill in. Now you also could fill in here with your ruffle if you want to, but I just want to cover this first cupcake liner just a little bit. There we go. Now, for those of you super beginners, leave it at this. For those of you who are a little bit more accomplished, just add a couple of rosettes here, just a little half rose. So what'd you think? That was fun. I think it turned out really pretty, especially with combining the straight petals with the ruffled petal. It really does look like a beautiful flower, and it's super simple. So for you super beginners, here you go. This is a place to start. For you pros in a pinch, man, this was easy. I bet you could get it done in less than 10 minutes. So if you guys enjoyed this, please share. It helps me a lot. Subscribe, it's free. You can find me at www.theartoffrosting.blogspot.com, where I share your work as well as mine. You can find me at The Art of Frosting on Facebook, where I also share your work, my work, Leah's work, all kinds of fun things. Join the conversation there. For those serious cake decorating questions, you can email me at cakedecoratinginstructor@gmail.com. Thanks again. We'll see you all again soon. Bye.